Kia ora, I'm Madison Bartlett and I play for the Canberra Raiders.
Hi, it's Yasmin Meeks from the Newcastle Knights.
Hey, it's Casey Ray from the NRLW Dragons team and you're listening to the NRLW Weekly Podcast.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Kennedy Charrington here from the Parramatta Eels NRLW side and you're listening to the NRLW Weekly Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the NRLW Weekly Podcast with me, Marlie Silva. I'm a Sideline Eye and NRLW super fan, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Ruan Sims, OAM. On the show today, Wagga certainly delivered when it came to Magic Round. The magic was everywhere on the field and in the community as well. So we're going to talk all about those results before we preview a huge round 6 in the NRLW. I cannot believe we're at this point in the competition already, Rue. That means we're past the halfway mark, right? 11 regular rounds.
11 regular and then 2 finals. So, yeah,
close.
We're past the regular round.
Halfway point. Well, what a weekend of women's footy it was. I obviously was down there in Wagga, but we were locked in for all 6 of those games and they really put on a show, the girls, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. But I think Wagga Wagga also put on a show. The weather was perfect. DJ Johnny was kicking goals left, right and centre. Unsurprising, of course, DJ Johnny. And then you could just tell the crowd turned out for it. I think there was over 14,000 over the 2 days. The atmosphere looked great. I remember we had a big drone shot and there was a line and it was like 300 metres long lining up to get in. So, well done. Well done, Wagga Wagga. Well done, NRL. And well done to all of the teams because I thought all of them were fantastic, not just on the field, but the things they did off field as well.
Absolutely. And I think this is exactly what we knew Magic Round could be. Yeah. Just the weather killed us last year.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
And because we know Newcastle turn out for it. And it was torrential. But you know what? People still turned out, still did the best they could. But this, I think when it was envisaged originally, that's what happened on the weekend was what we all 100%. Expected it to look like.
A huge success,
And a couple of teams pulled a rabbit out of a hat too.
Well, I mean, this leads us in perfectly because I wanted to ask you who owned Magic Round and I know it's tough to narrow it down to your 3-2-1s, but your standout performances.
I will go into my 3-2-1, but quickly, for me, who pulled the rabbit out of the hat was the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tip my hat to the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
It was their biggest comeback in their history, their club's history for the NRLW, and they did so well. Yeah. So well. That left edge was on fire. All 4 tries scored down their left edge, even with 2 different wingers throughout the game. Yeah. So I thought that was fantastic. But my 3 points, Raecene McGregor. She was, again, a standout for the West Tigers. 2 tries, 2 try assists, 15 kicks, 14 runs for 111 metres as a half, 2 tackle breaks and 2 line breaks.
Unbelievable.
So that was very clearly a standout performance. For me, 2 points, Winksy, Jess Sergis, the hat trick. Yeah. I don't know how she does it, I do know how she does it, but she constantly puts herself in the frame to make a difference and she never stops moving. She never, ever stops moving and that's why she's such a great player. Yep. So she gets my 2 points this week. And then 1 point I'm giving to Margot Vella off the bench for the Cowboys. Yep. Lloyd Phillips went off with an HIA. Margot Vella was being carried on the bench, came onto that left wing, scored 2 tries, and they were the difference in the end. So I thought that was a really great effort by her. And I'm giving an honourable mention to Joss Kelleher for posting 300 points, NRLW points. Well done, Joss.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I couldn't agree more. There was just so much incredible talent on that pitch. And I think also literally, being on the sideline for all 6 games, it just instills that value in how hard these girls work and how fit they are and how strong they are and all these kids in the crowd who are watching them. I think, without getting too sincere, we're living in an era where girls are being told that the only way to be valuable is to be really thin. We kind of have gone backwards in a lot of ways. You see this on social media all the time. And I love the fact that all those kids in the River Arena who were there, or all the fans of the NRLW, get to see healthy women who are strong, who have to fuel properly to be able to perform like that. And I think that's, they're role models in so many ways, but I'm so happy to see that. And I think the strength of Jess Sergis just like going over the top of people. I'm like, this is a woman who eats her protein.
Yeah. And the key thing as well is you're not sacrificing your femininity to do it either,
Exactly.
because they are still very feminine. A lot of them love their fashion. They love their beauty stuff.
Their eyelashes.
Yeah, look, I'm one of them. I'm a big advocate of the fake lashes. But, and they're just well-rounded people and humans, and I think they're incredible role models, and they continue to do wonderful things for the game and for women in society. And,
Absolutely.
I love it.
I look up to them so much. Big question that keeps coming up. Mm-hmm. Of course, Broncos and Roosters finished round 5 undefeated.
Yep.
Look, both of them, it's not like they're whitewashers when they're winning. And I don't want to disrespect them, because I think I wanted to ask you, what do you think puts them just that little bit of a cut above? I mean, it feels like their fitness. It feels like their resilience. Like, what is it?
It's their depth. It's their roster depth. Because they've been around since the competition started, and they are marquee clubs, and they have heavily invested in all of that to make sure that they do have good depth. And that's what happens, because they have people who have been in the system for a while, and they've come through some of their junior systems too, so they understand what's required. And then, obviously when they get the opportunity to make it in first grade, they do it, and they take it so brilliantly. So that's probably the biggest difference at the moment, and it will level out as the competition gets older. Let's not forget, this is only 9 years old. It's only nine seasons old.
Yes.
Not 9 years, it's 9 seasons old. And the first few seasons were only 4 games. Or 3 games in a grand final. So it is still in its infancy.
Yeah.
I'm envisioning that by 2028 it's going to look different again.
Yeah.
Obviously with the new broadcast deal, the new CBA will be negotiated, and all of that will change. But that's probably what makes them stand out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're not unbeatable. I think that we've seen them be pushed at different points. And and particularly that middle game on Sunday between the Titans and the Warriors.
Yep.
You feel like that's potentially where the biggest threats could lie.
Titans, Knights, Warriors are my 3 that I see really pushing those top 2 teams.
Yeah.
And look, everyone's saying unassailable, but that's only in the regular season.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe unassailable for the minor premiership, but they're playing each other in round 7.
Oh, yeah.
So next weekend we'll get to see how those 2, and that will dictate who wins the minor premiership. But then also the Broncos have Roosters in round 7, and then they've got the Titans in round 8. So if they drop the game in round 7, then they're backing up against the Titans, who are flying high at the moment.
Yeah.
We don't know how that's going to look. Then obviously round 7, I said Roosters are playing Bronx, and then round 9, Roosters are playing Sharks. Those 2 have they go at each other every year.
They're always a great
game. So, and I'm expecting the Sharks to really aim up for that game as well. And that'll be really key to sort of see who finishes, because at the moment the Broncos are first because of their points differential. I think they've got 128 differential, and Roosters are 98 or something like that. So they are vying for the minor premiership. But then once final starts, the slate is cleared. And we start again.
Totally.
So
on the other end of the spectrum, the Eels are the only side now without a win.
Yep.
And I feel like they have had moments where particularly against the Warriors last week, and even in the game on Sunday, they look like they have the ability to get a win. It's not like they're this so far behind the rest of the competition. It's just been maybe not being able to string it together for the full 70 minutes, and again, injuries on injuries.
Yeah, I think they've had better signs the last couple of weeks, but they have had a lot of injuries. I will say, though, Jade Hertigan looks good.
Yeah.
It's good to see her in there. I think they need that extra foil. But look, they're up against it again this weekend. We'll go into it a little bit later. But no Rachel Pearson, no Martha Mateele. So that makes this weekend's job really even more difficult for the Eels. But they have had positive signs over the last 2 weeks. But the Knights, again, just a cut above. You can see why they are, for me, a team that's pushing those top 2.
Absolutely. Alrighty, we will be right back after this break with more to preview round 6 of the NRLW. Welcome back to the NRLW Weekly Podcast with me, Marlie Silva, you, Ruan Sims, and Ru. It's time for me to tell you what caught my sideline eye.
Marlie, what what caught your sideline eye this week?
Well, my Magic Round actually started on Friday night. I landed after flying from Townsville, which is a bit of a journey, I have to say, to get from one end of the country.
Difference.
Yeah, oh my goodness, yes. Big drop.
Yep.
And admittedly, I got a little bit sunburned on Thursday in Townsville. So my body was just going, what the heck is going on here? Anyway, I, along with my friend Greg, who owns a gym in Wagga, held just a little bit of an welcome to Magic Round event with 50 young girls who are all part of the junior rugby league system, aged from under 8s to 17. And they're from all around the Riverina region. We brought them together. A few of the NRLW girls took time out of their night before they played a game on Saturday. Tiana Penatani Gray, Quincy Dodd, Samaima Taufa, Sophie Hollyman and Grace Kemp all came down, stayed for a long time, take photos, had conversations with these girls who wanted to know about, how they chase their NRLW dream. And it was really, really wonderful. But the number one thing that I have to tell you about from that night is about this little under-8s team who play for the Wagga Magpies. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole team of girls. They came in their uniforms with matching pink ribbons and matching pink boots. And what their mums explained to me was there isn't enough girls playing in Wagga at the moment for that under-8s age group, so there isn't a girls' competition. It's mixed, which is, I think, very common, right?
Which is pretty common up to under 11s.
Yeah, exactly. And the girls were told, okay, we might put 2 girls in every boys team in under-8s, spread everyone out. And the girls turned around and said, we want to play with our friends. Why can't we just be a team?
Which is the point.
Which is the point, especially when you're that age. All I cared about was playing with my friends. So they are the only girls team in an all-boys competition. They play together. They show up in the same, with the same ribbon and hair and boots and everything every single week. And there is not a single thing about them that is fearful of playing against the boys or doubts themselves because they're the girls' side. Apparently, they've won a couple of games.
Yeah, girls.
They've beaten a couple of the boys and they love it, and they were the sweetest, most beautiful little girls of all time. And I said to some of their mums, what a great lesson you've taught them so early on, that just because you're told, there's not enough for the girls team, or even if you're ever told as a young girl or young woman, you can't do that because you're a girl, these girls turned around and said, actually, we'll band together, we'll be a team and we'll be there.
I love that. Yeah. Well done. Yes. Wagga Magpies under-8s, I'm very proud of you. And if you guys want to send us any game footage or tries or whatever, I will play it on our potty and we will give you a shout out.
Absolutely.
Well
they
done,
were
girls.
just the best. They were so good. Now, Ru, your segment that you came up with when we were recording from home. So
I was distracted.
Yeah, because we had Baxter in there. But it was so genius. I think we were calling it Have I Seen This Before? Or Where Have I Seen This Before?
Yeah, Where Have I Seen This Before? Or I've Seen This Before.
Yeah.
Maybe we should call it Deja Vu.
Deja Ru.
Deja Ru.
That's what it is.
Not Doja Cat, Deja Ru.
That's what it is. Deja Ru.
Excellent. All right, Deja Ru.
Yeah, there we go.
Deja Ru.
We're on again.
Okay, Deja Ru gets another run because I was watching the incredible try scored by Julia Robinson on the weekend. But she does this scores a try and it's a scorpion. She's fully scorpion and she's vertical at one point and her head's on the ground, putting the footy down, and she does a full scorpion. I'm thinking, Deja Ru is thinking, I've seen this before. Yeah. And I scoured my mental archives and then I remembered it was a Broncos jersey I saw do the same thing, but it was a try saver. And it was Taryn Aiken when she was playing for the Broncos against the Roosters in 2022. And she goes over to stop a try and same sort of thing, does a full scorpion to do it. I thought it was pretty cool because I was like, hang on, Deja Ru was like, I've seen this before. I can't stop saying it now. I've seen this before. And I had. And it was 2 Broncos.
Love that. Someone in commentary definitely said, she's been doing her yoga. About Robbo. So that's what it looks like. The girls, they got that flexibility there.
Oh, I know. But I remember when Taryn Aiken did the try saver, because I think I was commentating on the game and I remember saying, she's done a full scorpion to save that. So I think that's why it twigged in my head. But that's my installment of Deja Ru this week.
love Deja Ru. It's my favourite segment. I hope that there's more of that
I'll have
for the rest
to
of the season.
I have to take my fish oil.
We'll have to talk.
I have to steal Joey's fish oil so
I
can
reckon
take it.
Middo would definitely. I know obviously our statistician, so he knows all the numbers and stuff. He would remember
Cool
certain
stuff like
moments.
that.
So that's what we've got to, I think, check in on.
All right, I'm doing
Speaking of Taryn Aiken, she's still out with that shoulder injury. She was named in the reserves on the weekend. Is she in the team list for this week?
Yes.
Which is
so
great.
she's back in
She's
for
back
this
in.
week. So she's back in for this week. So that's a big in for the Roosters. I will say though, Jocelyn Kelleher has been moving that team around beautifully in her absence.
Yeah.
So hopefully that gives them that level footing where, you know, if one's on fire, they can support each other and just see how that works.
Yeah.
But yeah. So she's back in, which is good. Like I spoke about Rachel Pearson out and Martha Masala with HIA.
Yeah. There's a few HIA protocols.
Yeah, there were a few.
Yeah.
There were a few. I think also Holly Wheeler and Taylor Predabon are out.
Yep.
I think Predabon got 2 weeks for her dangerous contact. Wheeler got 1, I believe it was. And we got the news overnight that Brigginshaw is out for 3 games for her tackle. She was referred direct to judiciary. And it was around what I was expecting, 3 to 4 weeks for it. And I know that people are blowing up saying it should have been longer, but they take into account the length of the season and, you know, they look at those different things and the actions leading into it and whatever. And look, it was an ugly tackle.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Ali's recognised that. She was in contact with Taylor straight away. They're friends off the field, so she got straight in contact with her and she's been checking in on her to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not deliberate.
No.
It was not deliberate. It was just very ugly. It just went very wrong.
Yeah.
And she recognises that and she's been suspended for it now for 3 games. And it's also like it's good that it's not the end of her career
certainly.
with that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? But yeah.
Alrighty, with all of that news, let's get stuck into this preview for round 6. It all kicks off on Saturday. It'll be the Bulldogs and the Cowboys.
Yeah, this will be – look, the Cowboys will be really happy after their win. Again, like I spoke about that left edge, they scored all their points down that left edge. Looks really, really strong. I'm really happy to see that Margot Vella retains a wing position.
Yeah.
And we'll be very interested to see whether he keeps Lloyd Phillips on the left and puts Vella on the right or whether he switches them.
Okay.
That will be really interesting to see. Because obviously Lloyd Phillips started on the left before she went off with that HIA.
Yes.
But to me, I just feel like the forward pack of the Bulldogs will get the job done. I think Tuanier has been playing well. Pani Hopoate's finding some form. Teka is as well. But I do have to say, I feel like Mackenzie Wheel has been busting her butt every single week. And she's been pushing it uphill because it's been a tough season for the Cowboys, but she just constantly rips in. So, and she was, again, very strong on the weekend, came up with a bone rattler on Grace Camp as well. It's going to be a tough game, but I believe, especially home game for the Bulldogs, I think they'll get the win.
And I also, the Broncos, a couple of the Broncos girls said to me after that game on the weekend that facing those Bulldogs forwards is so brutal. And
it is.
I mean, the Broncos did so much incredible defence against a lot
and
of
they had to.
They
had to.
So you imagine they will be a big part of what gets them that win if that's how it pans out. After that, we will be heading to Ocean Protect Stadium. I'll be there. Home ground advantage. We like this.
Yeah.
Sharks and the Titans.
Yes.
Exciting.
I actually did highlight this game as one to watch in my calendar. The Titans are just at another level at the moment. And they're so exciting. Tegan Levi is so exciting to watch. But I tell you what, it doesn't happen without Laker Clark and Ramoni just getting through their work. Georgia Hale's she's just a constant worker in the middle. And that then allows Sienna Lafipa, we saw a bit of it on the weekend, to really ball play.
Yeah.
So she started as a half and playing at lock. So she's a real genuine ball-playing lock.
Yep.
And she's a bigger body too. And so they can use her in their rotation through the middle and that lock position. And the Sharks are really struggling. Yeah. Really, really struggling this year. And I think this is a really great opportunity because if I'm looking at this forward pack, technically, on paper, they should absolutely roll the Titans in the middle. But the Titans are playing with such confidence and not just in themselves but each other. And so I think this is a really a great opportunity now for Ellie Johnston and Caitlin Johnston-Green
Yeah.
to own this game, to really push this team forward. And when I say own it, I mean run first and run hard and tackle everything that's in your way. Like just pair it all back. Run hard, tackle hard.
Yeah.
Pair it right back.
Yeah.
Don't need to be ball playing, don't need to be doing anything like that. Just rip in. And I really want to see them rip in this weekend because I feel like the Titans are going to win this game.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And it's a home game for the Sharks. But if this pack really turns into strong performance, which then means that Quincy Dodd can play off the back of it, then allows Kiriaratu to sort of have more of a run game as well. Yeah, like that would be beneficial, but they haven't fired many shots this year, the Sharks.
What do you think was the biggest difference from the game in Canberra to this weekend? Because they got that win against the Raiders for their first win of the season, and then they just seemed to kind of take a step back as to how they were playing in the weeks prior against the Tigers.
Yeah.
I mean, Raecene McGregor was just unstoppable.
Ray was fantastic.
But they just were a little bit on the back foot.
Yeah, they were just reacting. Instead of setting the temperature of the game, they were just reacting to what was happening. And you can't allow someone like Raecene McGregor that amount of control in a game. And Lauren Brown has been playing beautifully, and so is Tegan Levi. If they allow that control to the Titans will put 40 on the board.
Yeah.
So
Well, you think they actually didn't score as many points as they have been against the Warriors because it was so tight.
Yeah.
So you get the feeling they're going to.
Yeah, they want to cut loose somewhere.
Yeah.
But this is a challenge for you Sharkies. And home game too, rip in.
Yeah.
Just give it everything. Got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Let's go.
And just rip in. But
Listen
I feel like the
Ru.
Titans will get it done.
All right, our final game on Saturday will be the Warriors and the Knights.
Yeah.
Great game.
So this is probably has the potential to be the game of the round.
Yeah.
Like so does the Sharks-Titans one.
I get that feeling
If
too.
the Sharks that played the Broncos turn up on Saturday, that could be the game of the round.
Yeah.
But this one here, Warriors-Knights, this is definitely like this is two of the genuine contenders.
Totally.
Going head to head. Really exciting to see like Lucy Spain, she's so good out the back. I felt like Sydney Taylor had a really great game as well. Mele Hufanga was
So good to see her
first
back.
game and just ripping straight in. I actually would really love to see the Warriors get a bit more early ball to her. Either get it out early, especially in yardage, or not so much yardage, but more transition. So once you cross over your 40, just before halfway, that's what you classify as your transition set, basically.
Okay.
And then because you're transitioning from yardage into good ball.
Okay.
So that 40 metres, or 20 metres, 10 either side of halfway, that's where you can really transition. And most teams will be a bit more reactive in there instead of like proactive defensively. So you can really kind of strip them. And we saw the Raiders do it against the Roosters a few rounds ago. So if you can move the footy through there, get early ball to Mele a little bit wider. And then when you are in that red zone, that Westpac red zone, the 20 metres from the opposition's try line, bringing her back under, but earlier, bringing her back under earlier and allow her just to run through. She'll run riot.
Yeah.
She was so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going to be an absolute cracker of a game. Still no Hurawai. I see she's named in the replacements. Hopefully that's just a precaution, and then come 24 hours from game, we'll see her
come in.
move into that because I think they are stronger with her there.
Yes.
And it's worked quite well having Maliapo in at 9.
Yeah.
Because Paki, you can't move her because she's been playing so well.
Yes.
Been playing so well. But I think if the Knights send a lot of traffic down Paki's way, that will be an opportunity for the Knights because defensively she's not as strong as a lot of the other halves in the competition. Her tackle efficiency is not as good, so she's quite low in that tackle efficiency. So if you send a bit of traffic at her, you might get some joy. Okay. But I do feel like in New Zealand, the Warriors might get this one.
Well, Gail Broughton said to me at the end of the game, she just felt frustrated that they hadn't, kicked into gear earlier. Yeah. So if they'll want to start hard and fast.
Yeah, especially at home as well.
Totally.
In Waikato. So
nice.
Yeah. Warriors.
Alrighty. Okay, Sunday morning, it'll be nice and fresh in Canberra with the Raiders taking on the Broncos. Big task. I mean, the Raiders started hard and fast and they're in a little bit of a slump at the moment, aren't they?
Yes, just only a little bit. I mean, they got a little frustrated after that loss to the Roosters, and they just kind of haven't really found their rhythm back since then.
Yeah.
And they'll be smarting after the weekend as well. But Sheridan Gallagher has been really good at fullback. It's going to be really important. I want to see more out of Hollyman. She's found a bit of form.
Yeah.
So I feel like she needs to step up and really help Talfa lead in that front row, and especially against this Broncos pack.
Yeah.
Because the Broncos will be a little bit bruised after that game on the weekend.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they were talking, and that Bulldogs pack is quite physical.
Yeah.
So they'll be a little bit sore and sorry. So this could be an opportunity for the Raiders to really push them. But I just get the feeling the Broncos, they're just going to be too good. Like Shannon Marto's starting. Brianna Clark's playing great footy. And Jada Ferguson, I feel like she's so underrated and doesn't get talked about anywhere near enough as she should.
Yeah.
So I think they will be really rolling, and their bench to me probably just is a bit stronger. Lillian Yarrow returns, which is great. Obviously just bringing her in through the bench rather than throw her straight back out into that starting. And Shannon deserves to be starting. She's been playing really well. But, I just feel like the bench particularly is just a little bit stronger. So they'll get the job done away from home.
Okay, after that, it'll be the Dragons and the Tigers facing up at Jubilee. It's part of our Sunday doubleheader into the men's game. So you feel like there's going to be a good crowd.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Vibes will be high.
Vibes will be high. The Tigers will be chasing back-to-back wins.
I think the weather's not meant to be great though this weekend, is it? I don't know. Are you
That's
there?
what I always like to hear as the sideline reporter who's going to be on ground. I'm grateful I'm not going to be in Canberra. But Cogra, I think
You're
will be,
at Cogra?
Do you know what I'm doing? I'm running the City to Surf first thing Sunday morning, then heading back to Jubilee to do a double header of NRLW.
Yeah,
and
smart.
Which is really healthy.
Yeah. Sounds really good.
Yeah. So watch me hobble in here next Wednesday as we record. Look, the Dragons had some moments against the Roosters in that first half where they showed a bit of resolve. They held them at bay a little bit before it sort of blew out. I think it's sort of similar to what we were saying about the Eels, right? There's moments.
Yeah, there's positive signs. There's positive signs, and there's some good young players coming through. That Talia O'Brien, really rate her. She's very good. She's starting this week and has earned that.
Yep.
I want to see more from Flash.
Yeah.
I want her to really involve herself and exert her influence on that. But she can only do that if the forward pack is creating opportunities where she can sniff around and get in there.
Yep.
So if she's sniffing around a forward who can get an offload away, like Hannah Southwell can get a good offload away. So if Hannah's taking a run, if she can see that and then just get herself in a position to maybe get an offload. Second phase play for them is really important because they just don't have that continuity in structure at the moment. So when they go into structure, they just look a little bit clunky. So if that sort of broken play is where I think they'll get a lot of joy. And that's exactly what the Tigers do well too.
Yes.
So it's going to be really tough for them. Obviously on paper it's Tigers all the way, but I think the Dragons will push them. They just won't be able to go the full 70 with them. And I'm expecting another big performance from Shaylee Bent, who's been really good for them this year. I think she's really flourishing in a new environment, a bit more of a leadership role.
I spoke to her after the game. She's loving it.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah, and you can. And you can see she's talking and she's yelling at people and she's organising. And I think it's a really great opportunity for Casey Ray and Ray McGregor to go head to head. Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and Casey's done a good job as well. She's such a young talent.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. But you do get the feeling the Tigers will just hold on to that momentum from last weekend's game. And then we finish up with a very big task for poor old Parramatta.
Yeah.
It's the Roosters taking on Parramatta. I mean, look, like you said, they've got some really key players out. When you're in a situation like this, as a team, obviously you're going in thinking that it's possible, anything's possible. But that's got to be hard, right? Like when you know how brutal it is.
Yeah, look, it's always difficult, but at the end of the day, you've got to believe in what you're doing together, and you've got to be able to work together to get the job done. It is going to be a tough task. No Rachel Pearson. She's their regular number 7. Cassie Tohihiku returns and Jade Hertigan goes to 7. So it's a brand new halves combination. No Martha Mazziella, even though they do get Rory Owen back. Yeah. If they can get early ball to Rory, that will really help. But I tell you what, like the Roosters will get the job done at home, and they're very, 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 very short price favourites in this one. For me, Soraya Paki has been so strong. And again, another one who I don't think's discussed enough.
No.
I feel like
crazy, right?
Yeah. She's one of the premier second rowers in the competition, and she's brand new to this competition. And I'm guilty of it as well, because I'm all awash with Tegan Levi, and I'm just it's like I've got the Vaseline lens on because I'm like, she's so amazing. And she is, to me, I think she is the best sevens convert that we've got. Sure. And Soraya Paki is the next.
Definitely.
Like she's so good. And I'm expecting her to have a really big one. And Taryn Aiken back in the game. Yeah. Her and Joss Kelleher, I think they'll just be too strong for the Eels at home, especially at home. Yeah. With that Allianz? Yeah. No, Gosford.
Oh, yes, up in the coast. Oh, that'll be.
Gosford. Yeah. Yep. No, definitely. Gosford, the Roosters will get it done.
Yeah. All right. We have another huge round ahead of us, Ru. It's so good. Every single week there's new highlights to talk about. And like you're saying, there's so many stars in our comp that we sometimes have to remind ourselves which ones we probably haven't shouted out enough. Good problem to have. Thank you for your insight as always, Ru. I will hear you in my ears all weekend.
Thank you for naming our new segment.
I'm so glad I came up with that.
That was not
good. Prepared, everyone.
No, it really wasn't. We could tell by our reactions. I was like,
that's it. I cannot wait for more of that. If you are enjoying the show, we'd love you to hit subscribe wherever you're listening. Leave us some comments with questions. I think it'll be really good. Yeah, particularly this time in the year. You want to pick Ru's brilliant brain with NRLW. She's the one who's
quickly
full of knowledge.
Smooth.
She's always got these new segments and ideas and stuff. She needs more of your questions, all right? To slow her down a little bit. We can't keep up. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you're catching every single game of the NRLW live and free on 9 and 9 Now, and we'll catch you next week.